Today's interview is with Lucy, and she's going to introduce herself shortly. But first of all, I need to say a massive thank you to you, Lucy, for sitting in your garden and stuffing and labelling our Easter chickens.
No problem.
That saved me a massive job, and they're going to be a blessing to lots of people. So, Lucy, tell us who you are and what's your role.
Okay, well, my name's Lucy, and I am actually a positive behaviour and on-call officer at a secondary school.
Right. So, how have you been affected? Because I know you've been at home, because we wave each other over the fence quite a lot. We are neighbours.
We are.
So how have you been affected by COVID-19 in your role?
So in my role, school is obviously closed for main students. However, vulnerable and key worker children are still going in. So I have been going 1 day a week, and that's just to support a small number of children and provide a service as normal as possible. So yes, it's spending lots of time at home and using the phone to speak to children rather than obviously face to face.
And has many of those children been affected by mental health issues, or the families, as your work increased or got harder?
For my role's very, very different. It's very much face on, so I have to see children to help promote their behaviour in school, help make sure they're okay, make sure school's going all right. So that's quite difficult for me to do outside of school. However, using the phone and speaking to children, that's obviously having a little bit of an impact to kind of support families at home at this time.
Have you noticed any change in mental health, when you're talking to these kids?
A lot of the students just say, yeah, I'm okay, they're getting on all right. But other than that, it's quite it's difficult over the phone.
That must have been challenging. Has there anything been challenging in your personal life other than your school life?
Okay, so, I have a wife at home who's actually 20 weeks pregnant. So that, as much as it's a very exciting time, we were just going 12 weeks at the time of obviously lockdown happening. So that's been quite difficult, knowing that I was shielding at home to stay safe.
Yeah, because I remember when you told us that Faye was pregnant, and then you found out that I'm not going to reveal this, but you found out what sex the baby was. Were you able to go in with Faye and find that one out?
Yeah, unfortunately. So it's been quite difficult in terms of midwife appointments, because we haven't actually been receiving those, and many things have been cancelled. They've been phoning us the night before to say your appointment tomorrow's not happening. However, the 12-week scan and the 20-week scan, I wasn't able to go, so I waited in the car outside.
That, you can't believe in such an important time in your lives that you couldn't be with her.
Yeah.
How did you deal with that?
I mean, it's something that we've planned together, wanting a child. So it takes a lot of planning and a lot of effort to go through. So the most exciting part is obviously wanting to go to the scans, make sure baby's healthy and okay, and support Faye as well.
Yeah.
It has been difficult. I guess safety first.
And is baby all right?
Baby's fine, and we did actually book a private scan, so I was able to attend a 16-week scan.
Fantastic,
We're having a girl.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
And when's she due?
Just the beginning of October.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you go through these challenging times, how do you deal with it? And have you got a go-to song that you might go to? I've been asking people what cheers them up and what gives them some life-giving...
Well, funny you should ask that. We've been doing quizzes every week, and one of the questions, one of the answers was a song which was Everlasting Love, sung by Casualty, the cast.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of my childhood, because I got given a CD from a neighbour and I played it for months and months and months. So last week, when it came up on the quiz, after the quiz, we put it on and we had a really good dance, and it was fantastic. So that really brightened spirits.
Right, so that's your go-to song, and
Absolutely.
you're dancing around the front room.
Of course.
Yeah, we've not heard you, but I'll listen for you next time.
You might not want to.
Is there anything that you've missed or you're grieving for, or throughout these last, I think we're in 9 weeks now, and it's just easing lockdown, so you can do a little bit more. What have you missed?
I've missed being normality. Like I'm quite I really need a lot of stimulation, so I need to be doing things, need to be moving, need to be out at work, like to be really busy. So I've missed the normality of seeing people, seeing family and friends. However, I have been fortunate enough doing my mum and dad's shopping every week that actually I've been able to see them and still have that contact with 2 metres away, and dropping the shopping off. So I have been one of the fortunate ones. I do feel for so many people, such as my wife, struggling, not being able to see her family.
So she's shielding, isn't it? Isn't she?
Yeah,
so what does that mean, shielding? Can you explain that?
Yeah, so she's staying. It was quite uncertain, and we weren't really sure what obviously Faye was meant to do at the time. So she continued going into work until the decision was made and taken out of our hands, that she was to stay at home. So she's not to see family, not to go out, doesn't go shopping. So I do the shopping for us as well. So it's just obviously she can go for walks and things and go out, but she needs to make sure she's shielding to stay safe.
So she's 20 weeks, isn't she? And
she is, yeah.
So all that joy that you want to share with people, and people touching a bump, and can you feel her kick in? And can you feel her kick in?
I can't, but we have got a heart monitor, so I've been able to listen to it, which has made it a lot easier in not being able to attend scans or go
I really
places.
feel for you. I've been a mother myself. I really feel for you, that one, I really do. So you've got through that really challenging time.
Yeah.
Has anything surprised you of people in the community? And you must meet lots of people through parents, and has anybody surprised you or really made you feel, do you know what, that were really rubbish?
I think maybe the opposite. I think my school and the staff have just been absolutely fantastic, doing so many home visits, providing laptops, educational packs, anything they possibly can. We've also set up food banks. They've been doing that, and I actually went into the room yesterday and was packing a few bags up, and it was actually really choking to see how much food the community have donated it, and obviously our community, like as neighbours, doing Zoom quizzes, which is fantastic. It's just really nice that people are actually coming together, which you wouldn't maybe see as much because you're kind of in your own life. So surprisingly, but
we've all had to stop and think and reflect, haven't we? And that's no bad thing. So I suppose if you had a message to the public, what would you think of saying to them?
In terms of like a prayer, or
if you've got a prayer, what you could pray, but also people have been saying things to the public like be kind, be better to think about each other. But if you've got a prayer that people can pray for,
maybe being like, first of all, being like kind, but I think a lot of people are kinder now. I think people are being more considerate. So you go on a walk and somebody says, "Oh, sorry, I'm moving to the other side," and you're almost diving out the way, or you're in a supermarket and you're just waiting for your trolley and, "Oh, shall I touch it yet or not?" And there's people, and I think there's a lot. You get more of a conversation from people as well, like at the tills, the people working in the supermarkets must, sat behind a screen. It's just nice to have a conversation. People seem a lot more...
They're more considerate, don't you think?
Absolutely, yeah. And in terms of a prayer, I think really important, coming from an education background, for all parents and children that are at home and that in the next couple of weeks will be going back to school, as it will be very different for them, and I think it's really important that we support children and parents through this time, because we want to make sure their mental health is obviously really well looked after too.
I think everybody can resonate with that one. That's brilliant. Lucy, thanks very much.
Anytime,
and thanks for
problem.
being our neighbour.
Thank you very much. Thank you for being ours as well.
Hearts gone astray.